Hi, I'm Jamie Smart, and I'd like to welcome you to this brief video which I'm calling Personal Development is Broken, and why that's great news. And so you may be wondering, hey, where does Jamie get off saying personal development is broken? And I mean, the fact that you're watching this video probably means you've had at least some interest in and experience in personal development, and maybe you've had some great results. Maybe you've achieved some goals, solved some problems, made some changes. So yeah, where do I get off saying personal development's broken? Well, first of all, I gotta say it's not personal development's fault. It's the platform that personal development is running from. And that platform comes from our neurology and from our culture, our society, and our understanding as a species of how the mind works and how life works. And just to give you an idea, see, what I'm gonna be suggesting to you is that we're currently lost in a misunderstanding of how life works and how the mind works. As a species, we're lost in that misunderstanding. And so what this entire website is devoted to is helping you see through that misunderstanding for yourself in a way that makes a real difference in your life and the lives of the people you care about. So I'll tell you a story. A few years back, I hired someone to coach me. And he started out by getting me to make a list of my top 10 goals. And so I took some time out. I spent a few hours pondering it and reflecting, and I wrote out a list of goals. And he sat down with me and we talked through the first goal. And he said, well, you know what, Jamie, that's an outside-in goal. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, it's based on the idea that you need something in order to be happy. So on my list were things like make a certain amount of money, have a certain kind of girlfriend, go skiing for 3 months of the year, go powder skiing in Kathmandu, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I figured that those were the things I needed in my life in order to feel happy and fulfilled and peaceful and resilient and all that sort of stuff. And he said, yeah, as we looked down the list, he said, you know what, let's make a deal. Any goal on your list that's outside in, we're gonna cross it off. So I said, that seems fair enough. Well, we crossed all the goals off the list because my current understanding at that point of how life worked was outside in. I had it back to front. So what do I mean by inside out? Well, what I mean is 100% of our feeling is coming from our thinking in the moment. And now people will say, yeah, I get that. But what I can tell you is that when you see that for yourself in the moment, it does something for you. It brings you into the present. It clears up problems. It makes life make sense again. And so the reason personal development is broken, the reason I say that is because virtually all personal development is based on a fundamental misunderstanding of how life works. To a greater or lesser degree, it's based on the idea that our well-being in some way comes from something outside of us in space or outside of us in time. It comes from somewhere we need to get to or something we need to solve, and it just doesn't work that way. It only works one way. Inside out. And what I'd invite you to do as you continue exploring the materials on this website is, don't take my word for it. Test it against your own experience. Reflect on your own life. And as you explore the information here, really allow yourself to get impacted. It's sort of to not try and figure it all out in your head, but rather to have an insight. Just to create the space for that to happen. Because an insight is how you get an updated understanding of life and see through the superstition of the hidden hamster wheel, the superstition of the outside-in misunderstanding of life. And the other thing I'd love you to do is if you've liked this, if you've enjoyed this, then I'd love you to share this with other people. Share with the people that you know and the people you care about, because this can make a real difference in their lives as well. Thank you for your attention.